Hello, I'm so sorry for breaking my regular upload schedule. I'm also so sorry for the way that I look. I don't tend to record videos on a Saturday, so now I just look like a German that might decide to go out to a rave today, or like I have way too much hair gel in my hair. In truth, I tend to wash my hair twice a week in order to avoid it fraying and falling apart. And my day for hair washing is literally tomorrow. So today it just looks ugly, but it is fine because I normally don't make videos on this day and I normally don't go out. So I just used regular water in order to refresh it a little, and I'm kind of covering it up with a veil, which I don't know if it makes it better or worse. I'm making this video because I am very frustrated. I also try to swallow my own frustration down because I don't want to bring negative emotions and I don't want to appear overly emotional. You see, I've been dealing with quite a lot of bullshit recently, and I've been dealing with quite a lot of bullshit stemming from the place that I live in and the extreme internet censorship that's getting more extreme by the day. I've been able to successfully jump the hoops so far, but it kind of feels like a noose that keeps on getting tighter and tighter and tighter around your throat because of all the hoops that I had to be jumping in order to just be able to live my life as usual. So UK has something that's called Internet Safety Act, where minors are not supposed to access quite a lot of internet content from now on. So I had to verify myself for YouTube, I had to verify myself for Reddit. I tend to be able to prove that I am an adult either through my facial features or through my government issued ID normally, which, yes, leads to entirety of data leak and my own government being able to spy on me. But honestly, UK government is already having all their fingers in every possible pie possible. They want to have literally all the information on you at all times. I kind of gotten used to that spying in the last year. I don't like it, but I still did it in order to be able to keep what is important for me. Now, here's the thing. I am, at the very least, partially disabled. I don't know how I would actually be classed. I have genetic issues that come with hypermobility. I have had multiple surgeries during my life. I struggle with chronic fatigue. I struggle with brain fog. I struggle with ability to use my joints. I struggle with walking. I struggle with bone pain. I struggle with having coughing fits after I ate because my digestive system is that slow. I struggle with acid coming back up my throat every single time I eat or do anything because my stomach doesn't close properly. What I say is that I live in a very precarious health situation at all times. Oh yeah, I also have a migraine disorder, if that wasn't enough. What I can and cannot do in life is very limited. Because of how hard it is to get any support at all when you're a disabled person, I technically cannot wear the label disabled, but my condition impacts what I can and cannot do in life to a very significant amount. When it comes to YouTube, I kinda am working around it. It's why my schedule is so flexible. Why I put down weeks when we're recording videos, but I also have quite a lot of videos pre-recorded in order to be able to just shift that recording week as I need. Recently, I actually got an illness and I struggled to get over it to a point where I haven't actually been outside for maybe 3 weeks now, mostly because I stopped being able to get out of bed. I would run a fever every single day. My immune system was fighting me. It started fighting my eye skin, it started fighting my own eyes instead of fighting the infection that I had. I stopped being able to hold anything. holding a thing would cause so much focus that I would just normally drop, and that got so concerning for me that I've decided that I'm just gonna take to bed for a couple of weeks, which kind of means that I'm doing absolute bare minimum and I'm sleeping a lot. And it seems to have helped, considering that my eyesight's now fine, my eye skin is fine. I'm gonna try and go for a small walk next week. We're gonna see how that goes. Hopefully, it goes okay now, because it is quite frustrating, but it's not uncommon for me to encounter really health dangerous situations from what shouldn't be health dangerous situations. What I'm trying to say is that I am fucked physically. For me to hold down a normal 9 to 5 job would be nearly impossible. The last one that I held was entirely remote, and I got replaced by AI. What I can and cannot do in life is shrinking, and it hasn't been very wide to begin with. Like, I've never been horse riding. I could never go and jump out to go skydiving from a plane. That would simply undo my whole physical being. Like, I am a very, very fragile person. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in UK you have to have stable employment that passes a certain margin of income for at least 3 years in order to get a credit card. As such, credit card is one of the things that I will never ever get to have in this life. It's just, as a disabled person, or at the very least as a person whose health condition is kind of making me not actually able to do things, even though no government would actually agree that I'm disabled, because then they would need to pay me money. As a person that's unable to do things, I am literally relying on my family unit in order to stay alive. I can't hold a regular 9 to 5 employment, especially not when I can catch a cold and suddenly end up almost at hospice level. It's not the kind of life that I am ever able to lead. And I imagine a lot of other people are in similar situations. People that are self-employed won't meet the regular income requirement in order to take out a credit card. People that are housewives or house husbands, which I would also count as, won't have enough money and regular income in order to take out a credit card. People that are disabled will never be able to take out a credit card. People that are in poverty will never be able to take out a credit card. People with uncertain employment, 0-hour contracts, that sort of thing, will never be able to take out a credit card. Today, I got locked out of a lot of products on my own Steam. I technically can still launch them, but I couldn't even enter the store page for them. Because the only way to verify that I am an adult for Steam is a credit card, which I will never be able to have. On Steam, I am now legally always considered to be a child, because the only way that they gave me to verify my account is a fucking credit card, which I will never fucking be able to have. There are quite a lot of indignities in life that I've suffered, and there are quite a lot of indignities in life that I will have to suffer. My life kinda sucks when it comes to that. I can't do anything about it. I can't suddenly wake up in a healthy body. I can't have the career that would make my own parents proud. I do struggle with self-esteem over these issues quite constantly. Adding to it, in any way, shape, or form, makes me angry. It makes me genuinely angry. The fact that I'm able to jump through this hoop in every other social media platform, including YouTube, where I'm currently talking to you. By the way, if I couldn't verify myself as an adult for YouTube, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. They would have been limiting me on what I can and cannot upload, and how often I can upload, and what I can do with my account. But I was able to verify myself as an adult because I am a fucking adult. I'm 31. But as far as Steam is concerned, I am forever delegated to a status of a child. I have submitted a support ticket asking if there is any way to verify my account manually. I imagine that the answer will be no. I will just have to suffer not having access to a lot of things on Steam for years until laws change, because nobody gives a shit if you're not living your adult life in one very defined way as to how you're supposed to live your adult life. Which is to say, if you're not perfectly able-bodied to hold full-time employment, which you are required to have no matter you're a man or a woman, even if you're living in a family unit, and even if you have a very kind family that agreed to support your existence, no one is gonna treat you like a proper adult, and you're just gonna have to live in this indignity. Whoever made this decision, let this video be my appeal so that you may be introduced more ways for UK people to jump through this hoop, because I would judge this to be incredibly unfair, and I am seething on the inside, but I am trying to keep my language appropriate so that I don't express my anger in a way that's inflammatory or in a way that would mentally or physically harm another person. I don't wish for anything bad to happen to Steam or for people that have switched the system on. I understand that y'all are dealing in bureaucracy just like I am dealing in bureaucracy. What I'm trying to say is that life has punched me in the face today with this, and I would rather it did not. I would love to be heard, and I know that a video that is this rambly is not the best way to be heard. If I wanted to really be heard, I wouldn't have included my whole backstory for like 5 minutes straight. But I don't know how else to express myself. And I know that this will probably be entirely futile, but like, can you guys just like share this around, or share the basic message around that if the only way to verify one's age is a credit card, you are excluding everybody that's a housewife, that's disabled, that's self-employed, that's on 0-hour contracts, and all other people that wouldn't be able to get a credit card despite being an adult. This is not a fair system, and I don't want to be forever looked down upon as a child just because of the cards that I've been given in life. I find those cards to be hard enough to deal with without this. So, Mirta is now gonna go away and probably have a cup of tea, and I'm gonna continue with my work. If I only can play kiddo games from now on, I suppose I can only play kiddo games from now on. It's not something that I can change. I am merely but one person. It's just that this is my channel. And it really, really upset me. So, I want my voice to be heard. I want this to be known. I want other people to understand. So this is primarily what I'm trying to do. If you can signal boost this, or at the very least, like, basic message behind this, that the only way to verify your age shouldn't be a credit card, please do. And I'm gonna breathe in, breathe out. I will probably have an Infinity Nikki stream on Monday. We are having a new Infinity Nikki update on Tuesday, which means that I'll be posting a video with my highlights of it, probably everything but the housing system for the most part, because I want to do a separate video on that on a Wednesday. So there's happy and exciting things. And RuneScape has also a separate launcher, so I don't have to go through Steam, which means that even if RuneScape was judged to be an adult-only game, I can still play it. I can still play Guild Wars 2. I can still play a lot of the things that I do play, but this is undignified. This makes me feel like I am being mistreated, and like I am being judged to be a child when I am not. This doesn't even give me a hoop to jump through. This raises impossible standards that I know I will never, ever live up to, and it makes me feel bad. The reason why you're seeing this message, this is directly from my Steam. Honeycomb Studio is something that I've been playing recently. I've revisited it. I had that game for a while. I have games that have porny elements. I have games that have adult elements. I tend to sometimes play them for fun when I just need to do something to relax. And this one is practically the equivalent of a clicker, except that you're trying to, like, be this adult magnate and, like, outsource your cam girls to a point where you're trying to reach like a certain amount of points by 3 weeks in. So it doesn't even like really have explicit content. It's just, well, porn themed, and they needed to play a clicker. So when I read today in the news that UK people can no longer access adult games on Steam unless they have a credit card, I went and verified with one of the games that I recently played. Yeah. So anyways, if you have dedicated this much time to watching this video already, I really, really do appreciate it. I'm just really frustrated right now. So any kind of signal boost to this would be very appreciated, but especially signal boost the problem of adult verification only through credit cards possible. It doesn't have to be this video in particular. I just want to have access to my accounts, man. Life is hard enough as it is. I just want to keep what I already have, and I want to continue keeping what I already have without feeling like I'm being demeaned or like I'm being treated as less than a person just because I happened to not have a regular 9-to-5 job. I find this system to be very, very incredibly unfair. And there are a lot of other systems that might come into the country that I'm currently living in that might include me being unable to handle my own money at all, for example, because there's now a consideration that maybe debit cards should have a income threshold too. Very nice. There are considerations that everybody should be fitted with a forced water meter so that we may only use as much water as our government will allow us to use per month, or else face your water being cut off, because this is an investment that's going to big tech firms. They need our water. They need our water to cool their data storage devices and their AI farms. We might not get to use water, and water was one ways that I used to calm myself down. So, life might throw a lot of other punches at me going in the future. I would just like to currently smooth out the current punches and maybe calm down for the current time and not feel like I'm gonna crack, and hopefully a different government is gonna take over before a lot more authoritarian decisions are made. For now, I just beg Steam for them to give me other ways of verifying myself. I have already had to give out a significant amount of personal data. I'm pretty sure that my government knows like everything that there is to know about me, including where I live and including what I post online. Like everything like that is already being scanned. So like just let me give you the exact same things that I had to give to absolutely everybody else, so that at the very least I can continue using my account for the time being. Thank you.